I didn't really want to hold.
I was just wanting to know what chair you wanted me to go in, but okay, I'll take this one.
So, Jayden and I have known each other since the beginning of the time he's been inside the school, so at least a year, longer, year and a half?
Yeah, like a year and a half.
Yeah, year and a half.
Yep.
On Zoom. And man, when I met Jayden in person, I was like, what? Because he said that he was tall, and then I was like, yeah, but you're real tall.
Yeah, I have to warn people. I'm sorry.
It's like a shock. It's so good. It's so good. So Jayden's got a really wonderful story about what inspired him to come and be a coach. He's been creating great success inside his business, which is awesome. And he has been someone who, like me, wanted to become a facilitator through the school, which is really wonderful. And so now he's running trainings for us online and running classes for us online, which is amazing. And that is a big goal for him, so I'm super happy for him. So please give him a round of applause and cheer him out. Super good.
I'm pretty proud of myself, yeah.
Which is great, so good. And the success in your own business is wonderful, and your own personal life. Share with everyone a little bit about what brought you to coaching and what were some of the challenges that you'd experienced that led you here.
A lot. A lot brought me to coaching, and a lot of challenges were faced. And are still being faced. So what got me into coaching, I kind of got to paint a picture. So the person who I was previously was a bit of a jerk. I was very opinionated, thought I kind of knew everything, and I was in a corporate career for a long time, and I had created this identity that I had to know everything, and I had to be in control of everything in order to feel powerful, to feel safe. And things in my life were progressing. I got married, and we had our first daughter, my only daughter, first child, and something happened that really changed the course of our lives forever. So it was a few months before our daughter's second birthday, and one day she got up and she couldn't bear any weight on her legs. She wasn't able to stand, and we thought that was obviously a bit concerning, and took her to the hospital. And within 24 hours, she was rushed to the Royal Children's Hospital in Melbourne. We were living there at the time, and she was put on an operating table, getting parts of her skull removed to relieve pressure on her brain. Yeah. So in that moment where she was taken away, I had to sign a waiver, not knowing whether she was going to come out alive or not. I was just completely alone by myself and just in my thoughts. And the person who I thought I was, the identity that I'd created, was gone. I had no idea what was happening in this situation, and I had absolutely no control. And for some reason, a question came to me that moment was, what can I control? What's left? And for the first time ever, I realized that was myself. It was the first time I've ever thought to try and control myself. I was so busy controlling everyone else around me to keep myself safe. And that put me on a quest. Like, I didn't know what to do with this information, but it was profound enough for me to just go like, wow, like, who the hell am I? Like, really, like, who am I, and like, what is my life all about? And so my daughter was put into a coma. The operation was successful, and she was put into a coma for several days, nearly 2 weeks. And when they were due to wake her up, they were letting us know, she was full on ICU, life support, you name it, like hardcore. And when they told us they were going to wake her up, they said, expect her to come back online. She's going to say these things. She's going to be responding to you by the end of the day. So we're like, okay, great. Well, that afternoon came and she wasn't responding. In the next few days, she wasn't responding. It was spasmodic twitches at best, right? She was essentially just like twitching in her bed, turned head, just no control, no awareness that we were there, no reactivity. And the specialist sat us down and said, I just want to let you guys know that you have to prepare that your daughter's going to be in a vegetative state for the rest of her life. Now that's one of the worst things, that you can hear as a parent, one of the worst. And that obviously floored my wife and I completely, But after we picked ourselves up and we were in that kind of supporting embrace of just like wondering what the hell we do with this situation, my wife and I looked at each other and said, like, no, this is not going to be her fate. This is not going to be our family's fate. We're gonna do something about it. And so my wife, she delved headfirst and just committed herself to learning about the brain and learning about nutrition, how to heal the body. And I had a bit of an interest in human behavior to begin with. And so my thinking was, whatever my daughter's journey on recovery and rehabilitation is, I wanted to know how to communicate with her. And so I started learning about psychology, communication, language, and behavior. And diving into those sorts of books and podcasts and things like that, I started to learn a lot. Like I was on a quest to help my daughter, but I learned how to help myself. Again, for the first time ever, looking within, being accountable for my thoughts, my actions, my behaviors. It was incredibly profound. I was just like experiencing this whirlwind of like my daughter's, in her state, and I'm redefining who the hell I am. And it was just, everything was up in the air. And so some beautiful things started happening with my daughter's recovery. She started coming back online. And day by day, things started happening. She started to be able to say words again. She started to be able to swallow on her own and take in food. She started to move her head. She started to take a step. And within 2.5 months, she walked out of there on wobbly legs.
So good.
So that was just the most beautiful thing to see how much my wife and I came together and committed to our daughter's growth and our growth, as a secondary gain, really.
Yeah.
But it was the most profound thing ever. And so that was when my daughter was 2. We had her second birthday at the Royal Children's Hospital, and she's now 5.5, and you wouldn't know anything was wrong with her unless I pointed it out.
Yeah.
She's got her quirks, but it's awesome. It's fun, but it's really helped me. It's really helped me dive into me. And when I learnt so much about personal development, and mindset, and just connection, I thought, like, the profound changes that I'm having in my life, like, I need to share this with other people.
Right.
I really do.
Yeah, how does everyone relate to that bit in your own life in a way? Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought I just need to share this. Like, the world needs to know what I'm learning.
What was it like when you started your course? Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, that's what got me there, right? Is I just started, an ad came up. An ad came up on Facebook, and I'm like, I need to explore this.
Yeah.
Right? And I jumped in, and I actually came to an in-person event just like this down in Melbourne. And I walked up the stairs in the HQ, and I'm like, wow, this is my people. This is
so good.
Amazing, right? Yeah.
So good.
And so I knew I had to do it, right? I didn't end up signing up that weekend. I had some money stories of myself that I needed to overcome. Yeah. And so it was another 6 to 12 months until I was actually able to join. And I knew I had to do it, but there was just certain things I had to get over.
Yeah.
And as soon as I did it...
Were they literal or were they just fears?
They were fears.
Right.
100%.
So you could have made the investment, but they were fears of investing in yourself.
Absolutely.
If you could go back and do it again faster, would you?
Yes. 100%. Because I'd be nearly 12 months ahead of where I am now.
Yeah.
That was a massive lesson for me.
Wow.
And that was kind of a bit of a theme from then on. Is that lesson, like, what stories are getting in my way from holding me back for having the life that I wanted?
Good question.
Right? Yeah.
Now, I'd love you to share a little bit about the journey of becoming a coach, because you're in a wonderful niche. So what Jayden does is, Jayden at the moment works with women, mums, that need more empowerment and finding themselves and healing work. But like, there's no way he could have known in the beginning that's what he was going to do. I just want to keep on highlighting that. Can you share a little bit about how you got there? And because I think the work you're doing is like so awesome and so needed, but you had to work it out over the time of your course.
Yeah, definitely. So
sorry, and also just to highlight, he's only 1.5 years into his course.
Yes.
Right. So this isn't someone who's 5 years after it. Yeah.
So seeing all the pain in the hospital of all the families, what I witnessed a lot was a lot of broken families, a lot of dads were disassociating from the relationship.
Yeah.
And talking to a lot of the nurses, they say, we see this all the time.
Wow.
Right? But they kept talking to us, going like, how are you guys doing it? Like, because this is amazing. We need to help other patients' parents do the same as what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
And so I was really driven to be a mindset coach for dads, really support men in this space. And I started coaching in that space, and I found it quite enjoyable. And then I started doing some of the advanced trainings and learning more about emotions, emotional regulation and expression. And that opened up a whole new world of experience and healing for myself. I thought mindset was all there is.
Right.
Mindset is the beginning, I found.
Yeah.
And so I started diving into emotions, and I wanted to be an emotions coach for dads.
Yeah.
Now, you may not be surprised that guys typically in Australia aren't too fond of talking about their emotions. And so I kept kind of pumping out that message in my marketing, following what ICI was telling me to do. I wasn't hearing much back from the dads, but I was getting a lot of messages from mums. They say, I love what you're saying, absolutely love it. My husband really needs this. Can you reach out to him? Of course, it's absolutely what I want.
And I just want to highlight, so what Jayden's saying and what we're saying is, it's not that you can't work with men, of course. It's just that the approach that Jayden had, being
Correct.
specifically about communication and emotions, ended up being a little bit more attractive to the women in the relationship. There was a natural progression for him. We have many people that work with men. It's just about learning how to market to them.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and so I'd reach out to their husbands as requested, and I'd hear nothing back from them. But then the mums would still start chatting to me and say, hey, I'm really frustrated. He's let me down again, this, that, and the other. And I'd say, I can actually help you with that. Do you want to get on a chat? Get on a call? And before I knew it, all of my clients were mums. And now I've just fallen into the space. I'm an emotions and relationships coach for mums. And my niche found me.
So good. Give him a round of applause.
Yeah.
So good. So good. Now, you're in the professional coach program.
Yes.
Have you earned back your investment yet?
I earned nearly double it this month.
So good. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, pretty amazing. I've quit my. So I was doing a six-figure corporate job. I quit that in
Working 1 million hours a week.
1 million hours a week. Yeah, so I quit that in July last year, and I started my full-time coaching practice.
Now, when it comes to talking about money, it's really important, and this is a thread throughout the entire community. It's not about how much money you make, right? The money gives us choice, and it's really, really important. So we might throw large figures out there and things like that, because certain niches and certain industries are a place that you can actually, people are paying good money for it, and there's different ways through group work and stuff like what you're doing that we teach you throughout the school where you can earn a really good living. But I just want to highlight that the most important thing is that we're driven by contribution. We're driven by, because I have met people that have said, I met a guy once who said, how quickly can you help me make $10,000 a month? And I said, so what's your motivation? And he's like, $10,000 a month. And I said, so tell me who you want to work with. And he's like, well, I just want to make as much money as I can. And I lovingly invited him not to join. Because we've got people like the wonderful Jayden, who's earned back. So he's already invested in his program and he's made his money back plus a bunch, which is wonderful. And isn't that an awesome thing to do from your education? Like, we have a guarantee that you'll be able to do at minimum to earn back your investment. But we encourage people to do more. But the thing is that when Jayden's on the phone speaking to someone, he sees a woman that needs help, not a dollar sign. And so that's one of the things that's very important about business. One of the things that we say inside the school, I think we've got this written on our wall somewhere, is if you take care of enough people's dreams, your dreams get taken care of. And so that's a very, very important way to run business. And anyone who's succeeding like Jayden will tell you that story, which is the way it should be in this industry, hey? Yeah, so good.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, what would you say to someone who's either just joined our community or on the fence getting splinters and thinking about joining our community? What would you say?
Well, if you've just joined, welcome. Welcome
Yeah,
to
for sure.
a wild ride. Right,
Yeah,
absolutely.
so good.
Welcome.
Very good.
Yeah, and if you are getting splinters, they hurt, right? But that's okay. But just know that if you're getting splinters, then you're waiting, and then you're not living your dreams. Really, you're not living your dreams. Like, if you want to pursue a life of fulfillment, if you want to pursue a life of contribution, if you want to pursue a life where you're able to live life on your terms and live by the standards that you want to live and build that life with your family or whoever it is that's near and dear to you, then do it. Like, this is a vehicle to do that. Like, as you said, helping people is what we're here for. Like, really, we're all here to help and serve. The financial abundance that comes from that, that's a secondary gain. That's a byproduct of that.
That's right.
You know, I love saying this. When I coach, I'm in the spare bedroom in my house. And in between coaching sessions, I go out and I push my daughter on the swing.
I do the same.
Right? It's the best. Like, and I build some Lego blocks and just, you know, play chasey, and I'm like, all right, I got another coaching call. I'm going back in.
Yeah. Sometimes I grab Noah and I just go, here he is, and I put him on the video and then put him back down.
Yeah. So what I really want to say to those who are thinking about making the decision but haven't just yet, just know that your future's waiting for you. And it's up to you to say yes to yourself, to take that step and to move forward and claim your future, claim your dreams.
So good. Thank you, buddy. Give him a round of applause. So good on you.